Kathmandu is Nepal's chaotic capital and the gateway to the Himalayas. It's not as crowded as many other capital cities. Kathmandu is the most visited destination and spread across its namesake valley and surrounded by Himalayan mountains, and it's full of ancient temples, golden pagodas, natural beauty, and fascinating villages. Kathmandu is located at the elevation of 4,344 feet and is the meeting point of the Bagmati and the Vishnumati rivers. Excellent trekking opportunities to the world's tallest peaks, stunning Indo-Tibetan and Newari craftsmanship, UNESCO-listed heritage landmarks, and delicious food can be found here. Welcome back, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Today we will be discussing and discovering the charms of Kathmandu, Nepal. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications turned on to get notified when we update videos like this one. Let's get into the countdown. When is the best time to travel to Kathmandu? Kathmandu has favorable seasons for a variety of events. For example, if you want to go to trekking some across the country or even to Everest base camp, October and November are ideal months. In Nepal, the monsoon season lasts from June to August when it rains most days and is extremely hot. If you want to climb Mount Everest, the best months to do so are April and May. However, the best time to visit Kathmandu is during the winter. Bradley and I went in November and December and the weather was beautiful. In the evenings, you'll need a jacket and possibly a hat and a scarf because it's cold in Kathmandu. How long should we stay in Kathmandu? Realistically, if you're only here to see the tourist attractions before moving on to trekking or visiting Pokhara or even Chitwan, you'll need around 3 nights. According to some travelers, 3 nights is the ideal number. We obviously stayed much longer, but it was for work. For working purposes, Kathmandu has a plethora of cool and inexpensive cafes with fast Wi-Fi. With 3 nights should be enough to get everything in order. However, you should spend a few days exploring the area and Kathmandu Valley in general. The top 10 places to visit in Kathmandu. Now for the fun part, the top 10 places to visit in Kathmandu. Of these places, Everest Base Camp is the one famous spot. They're all highly recommended by others. Number 10. Durbar Square. Durbar is Nepalese for palace, so you can imagine this square has some royal history. It was once where the city's kings were crowned and legitimized. It is now a traditional heart of the old town, showcasing some of Kathmandu's best traditional architecture. The entire square was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979, but it was severely damaged by the 2015 earthquake in Nepal. Many temples were damaged, and rebuilding will take years, but it's still worth a visit, and it needs your tourism more than ever. Number 9. Garden of Dreams. Kathmandu can be hectic, manic, and generally crazy, so if you want to escape all that right in the heart of Thamel, the Garden of Dreams is your answer. It's an oasis in the midst of a chaos, and it's surprisingly well kept. It was constructed in the 20th century and is also known as the Garden of Six Senses. It has flowers and fauna from all over the world, and it's the only truly beautiful place to just sit and read a book. There's even a cafe on site where you can get a cup of Himalayan coffee and a bite to eat. The entrance fee is 200 Nepalese rupees for foreigners, or you can get an annual membership of 3,000 rupees if you're staying in Kathmandu for a longer period of time. Number 8. Boudhanath Stupa. It was built after the year 600, so it's quite old. You can get up close and personal with this perfectly proportioned monument, and this one is 36 meters tall and quite lovely, especially at night. We recommend going around 6 p.m. to get that shot with the lovely lights and see it light up. To enter, you must pay 400 Nepalese rupees. Number 7. Thamel Shopping Center. Pokhara Lakeside and Thamel are 2 main places in Nepal to get everything you need for trekking and souvenirs. Thamel is teeming with markets and street lined with shops selling everything from the iconic singing bowl to handmade clothing, bags, soaps, teas, and coffee. If you're gonna trek, they have a lot of rucksacks, clothing, poles, shoes, and everything else you could possibly need. Getting all your trekking gear here is probably less expensive than buying it all back home. One thing to keep in mind is that if you buy singing bowls or other cool artifacts, you should get a receipt. Number 6. Monastery of Kophan. This is a lovely Tibetan monastery on the outskirts of Kathmandu. This means you'll either need to take a taxi, join a tour, or walk there. If you want to meditate, this is the place for you. They provide a variety of meditation courses and are located in serene setting. You can come in the morning and participate in morning meditation classes. Certainly a unique experience. You can visit here while walking between Boudhanath and the Gokarna Mahadev Temple, or from Nagi Gompa in the Shivapuri Nagarjun National Park. A taxi from Kathmandu should cost around 600 rupees. Number 5. Hit up the cinema. What's really surprising for such a poor and struggling country is how modern and inexpensive their cinemas are. The movies are in English and a ticket costs around 300 rupees. Even the food and drink inside the theater are ridiculously cheap. Anyway, the cinemas are very modern and a great place to spend an evening if you want to get away from the crowds. In the Thamel area, there is a fantastic cinema called QFX, Chaya Center. It's housed in a massive structure that is on its way to becoming a massive and cool shopping mall. Nobody knows how long it will last. This is probably one of the very best places to visit in Kathmandu for couples. It can be very romantic. Number 4. Pashupatinath Temple. Before we arrived in Kathmandu, Bradley's friend told us about this temple. It's a well-known temple on the riverbanks near the airport. Cremations are performed in the morning and sometimes in the early afternoon. As a result, you'll see actual dead bodies and most likely people in mourning as it's performed in public. That is definitely a one-of-a-kind experience. Not something I want to see myself, but if you're not a Buddhist, you do not need to get up close and personal with the temple. You can see it from across the river. Number 3. Champa Devi Hiking Trail. The Champa Devi Hiking Trail is the last but not least on my list of the best places to visit in Kathmandu. This is an excellent day hike for those who lack the time, money, or effort required for longer hikes. Champa Devi is a magnificent hill to the south of the Kathmandu Valley. It has a Buddhist and Hindu shrine on top and is located at an elevation of 2,285 meters. After a 3-hour incline walk, you'll reach the top and be greeted with spectacular views for Kathmandu Valley and the Western Himalayan range, which includes Langtang, Gauri Shankar, Jugal, Dorje Lakpa, and many others. Number 2. National Park Langtang. This is Nepal's 4th national park, established in 1976. It is the first Himalayan national park and the nearest to Kathmandu. So if you want to see the Himalayas but can't due to their air pollution, this is your best bet. Langtang Valley, Hilambu, and Gosaikunda Lake are the best treks here. These encompass a large portion of the Langtang National Park in the southern Hilambu region. To avoid altitude sickness, you must be aware of the altitude and you may need to adjust to it, especially if, like me, you have type 1 diabetes. Altitude can have negative impact on our blood sugar levels. It's a 3 or 4 day trek from Kathmandu. This is ideal if you do not intend to visit Everest or the Anuradhapura range while in Pokhara. Number 1. Everest Base Camp. Everest Base Camp. Oh yes, this is the stuff of dreams. I like to visit Everest Base Camp, but not just yet. I intend to return to Nepal in 2023 with the sole purpose of climbing Everest Base Camp. However, if you are prepared, you can organize your base camp trek from Kathmandu. Everest Base Camp has one thing they do say is that you don't have to be an athlete to do it. If you enjoy walking or hiking, you will be able to reach Everest Base Camp. The Everest Base Camp hike is a 14-day round-trip hike that is considered moderate. Your journey will begin in Luka, which you will need to fly into. In any case, it's only about 30 minutes long and make sure it's included in the final price you pay. That's all for today. We hope you liked this video. Let us know in the comments what other hidden gems have you discovered in Kathmandu, Nepal. I would love to hear from you. See you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get new updates.